I made a mistake, and I let you down, and I let down this institution, and I am sorry for that. Period. Full stop.
Following those comments, Roberts took questions from Heritage staffers, and one actually went to go take him to task.
We also could have just said nothing at all. Instead, we managed to scrape together an initial response that, at best, was equal parts incoherent, unhelpful, and naive. At worst, as others have referenced, it was more akin to a masterclass in cowardice that ran cover for the most unhinged dregs of the far right.
Joining us now to discuss, Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School and author of The Preventative State, Professor Alan Dershowitz. It's always a pleasure, sir, to have you on. So I'll let you have the floor here. Your thoughts on Roberts' apology and the whole chaos going on.
Well, this is a great conflict within the conservative movement, reminiscent of what happened when Bill Buckley, the great conservative, took on the racist anti-Semite Pat Buchanan and said that what Pat Buchanan has done and said, essentially denying the Holocaust, amounts to anti-Semitism. It can't be justified. So that, back some years ago, the good guys won. Buchanan lost. He was really taken out of the center of conservative politics, and Bill Buckley won. Now we're seeing the same fight being fought in the conservative movement at the Heritage Foundation. The irony is that when you go online and you read about Nazi propaganda saying Jews control the media, among the people they're alleged to control are the Heritage Foundation. They always say the Jews control all the media. Look how much influence they have in the Heritage Foundation. And now we see the Heritage Foundation refuses essentially to condemn the anti-Semitism of their friends. You can say some of my best friends are Jews. He's basically saying some of my best friends are anti-Semites. Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and people like that. So look, the conservative movement has to get it straight, and it has to condemn all kinds of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, double standards in approaching Israel. They have not done that. They're falling into the same trap that the left is falling into by tolerating and encouraging and voting for people like Mamdani, who is the mirror equivalent of Tucker Carlson on the hard left. Anti-Zionist, anti-Semite, a bigot, irrational, and we're seeing a pincer movement against Jews. Let's remember one thing. When in the 1930s, when Stalin fought against Hitler, communists against fascists, they had only one thing in common. They both hated the Jews, and both killed Jews. Both sides killed Jews. And we're seeing that pincer movement now in the United States from the extreme, extreme right and the extreme, extreme left. Up until now, the right has done a much better job in distancing itself from the anti-Semites in its midst than the radicals on the left have done. But this blow-up at the Heritage Foundation seems to show something different. So I don't think that he can survive this, and he has not done a good job in disassociating himself from the bigot Carlson.
All right. Again, lots of people, I think, hoping that he would either have apologized, would have stayed quiet in the first place, or maybe now would potentially resign. Of course, we'll be watching this story. Professor Dershowitz, always great to get your perspective. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.